Welcome back to ESA Summer 21. We are raising money for Save the Children. Links to donate can be found below the stream. We would also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. Now, we're here with Gelk to run some Halo 3. Together, we have Sorix as well on commentating. Take it away, guys. The floor is yours.
Hey guys, I am Gelk, and I'm going to be playing Halo 3 on the Legendary difficulty, and we're just going to hop right into the first mission, Sierra 117. And I'm joined by Sorix.
Yeah, hello. I'm Sorix. I run this game as well. I'll be providing some commentary as well. First mission, Sierra, also known as the south side of Sierra Peak, Mount Kilimanjaro.
So the first thing we're going to do is run right here, save a second. And the first thing we're going to do is there's some movement tech that we do throughout the run called slide jumping. If you jump and pick up some height and land on a sloped surface and crouch and release your crouch and jump at the same time, you can conserve your momentum. And it's pretty useful. You're going to see a lot, especially in this level.
Yeah, it's just a nice way to chain your jumps together, and it's already really planned out, especially on this mission. All the jumps are planned out in advance where he's going to be slide jumping, and it's pretty easy to understand. I think a lot of games have this where you can jump on a slope and it converts your downward momentum into forwards.
So that jump I did on that rock over there, it took me out of bounds to skip a trigger to bring in a couple phantoms that normally spawn in here, which makes the section very difficult normally.
Yeah, so there won't be any enemies here now. Go on.
And the IL strat is to just not do that jump and run straight through, and the survival rate is pretty low.
Mm-hmm. And the ILs versus full game strats are pretty interesting to see sometimes. You probably die 60% of the time, something, not doing that jump, and it only saves a couple seconds, but still you see people going for that in ILs.
Alright, this section has a fair bit of RNG, but we're going to take this route here because it's a lot safer and it guarantees us this checkpoint, so it makes it a lot easier, and we get noticed a lot later, so we don't get shot by a bunch of enemies in the back. You can still hear them trying to kill us. I'm gonna try to kill this guy, get a checkpoint here.
Yeah, important note is to say that he grabbed the brute shot, not just because it's a good weapon to use, but mostly for the fact that it has what's called a scariness factor on it, which means when you're going past or going near smaller enemies like grunts, they'll actually notice, oh, he has a brute shot, and they'll get scared and run away, and so they won't actually shoot you. And that's the main reason why we want the brute shot.
But we're gonna play the floors lobby here because in this game they interject story moments through what we call Cortana moments. Our AI is trying to reach us, and the game slows your movement speed down to 10%, so we're gonna try to avoid those as much as we possibly can.
Yep, one of the couple ways you can skip those moments, just dodging the trigger that's on the floor. You'll see different ways of skipping them later. And yeah, you can just survive in the water here.
Yep. With some listen to the great voice acting.
Beautiful.
Here's a really fun part of the mission. It's called Jackal Forest. There's a bunch of beam and rifle jackals that are perched up on these trees, and we're just trying to run through and headshot them as fast as we can. This guy is in a weird spot.
Yeah, the spawns are somewhat random, but they always spawn in the same sets of locations. So you can check all the locations they can spawn as long as you memorize them and get through every time, even though they are random.
I accidentally threw the wrong button, but no, this is called gap jump. We're gonna combine a slide jump with a grenade boost to get over this bridge. Normally we have to go down and all the way around, but by doing that, we just skip most of this section.
Yeah,
By
bubble
doing
shield
this, we
coming
have-
in very handy there as well.
Yeah, and the Halo 3 introduced equipment, and we had a bubble shield equipment there, and it just blocks projectiles. It's very nice. Now we're up to the dam section, which can be a little scary running up.
See how they beat their trap?
Yeah, the objective here is just at first to get to the other side of the dam, to the prison where Johnson has been captured. Once we free him, it'll start basically a timer where we just have to defend ourselves from all the enemies until all friendly Pelican will come in to escort us out, and that'll be the end of the mission. On easy, on easy runs, like any percent runs, you'd see people like clearing this out. Yeah, good checkpoint. You'd see people clearing this out, and it would actually speed it up somewhat, but it's not really feasible to do that on Legendary.
Yeah, the only place where that's really been done is segmented.
Yep.
Oh, the chieftains are here.
Roger that, Hocus. Friendly gunship coming in hot.
Doing the spiker strat, respect.
I just switched back to the spiker strat because it's a lot better than what I was doing. Dude, I've been getting tons of checkpoints. I'm actually really happy about this. Usually you don't get many checkpoints in this section, but I've been getting a lot of checkpoints. So, and if you die, it's usually the revert's usually at the beginning of the dam section.
Yeah,
so it's a pretty lengthy revert.
One of the lengthiest ones in the game usually.
We're gonna send some cones flying here, and we're just gonna chill in this corner and wait for our Pelican to come pick us up.
Gonna do flare jump for swag, I assume. Since you got one.
I'll try it. If I get the checkpoint, I'll try it. I haven't flare jump in a minute.
Yeah, don't worry about it if you don't get the point.
There's the checkpoint, or that signifies our Pelicans is coming in, and we're gonna do a trick called Early Pelican. So the mission will end once we're inside the Pelican, but it doesn't make us wait to get inside the Pelican. Got it? And that's the end of Sierra 117.
Yeah, so the Pelican flies in there and just stops for a second, and you have time to jump up.
Yeah, there are some equipments you can jump off of, and that's what I did there. Is the flare's a jumpable equipment, and now we're on to crows. We're just running to the first section, so not much going on here.
Yeah, the one interesting thing to know is we do make a little diversion to get a battle rifle there. Technically a bit slower, but it makes the first hallway a lot more consistent, and it's only like half a second time loss. You basically always see people getting that on Legendary.
Okay, this first section can be a little annoying. I'm trying to bounce some frags off and kill as much of these enemies as I can, then kill this brute and make the enemies flee. Then try not to get carbine jackaled here. Okay, my shield's back, so I feel a little bit safer about this. Live.
Yeah, that was nice. So yeah, killing the brutes. The enemies are sort of divided into groups, or like sets of enemies, and once their leader, which is the brute, dies, a lot of the like minor enemies will like disperse and get scared, just like if you had the brute shot in hand or another scary weapon.
So this is the hangar section. It's the auto-scroller of the game. Nothing we can do to speed it up. There's 3 waves of phantoms that are coming in, and we just have to sit here and clear out these enemies and try to not die.
Yep, one of the longest auto-scrollers in the game, probably. Well,
yeah,
probably the longest one actually.
It's 2 minutes long, so it's pretty lengthy.
Yeah.
So the bread and butter combo in Halo is the plasma pistol and the battle rifle. The plasma pistol is used to strip the shields of shielded enemies, and one battle rifle headshot will take them out.
Yeah, the classic noob combo.
Cool in campaign, but it's frustrating in multiplayer.
Right on time.
Went alive, I'm pretty sure. We'll just come on the way out.
Yeah. So this should be the last wave coming in here now.
Alright, so we're gonna try to kill these guys as they fall out and start running backwards. Okay, we got all 3 of them. And all the enemies should be dead, and we'll know if they are if I hear a rumble right here. There it is.
Nice. Yes. So just trying to be as optimal as possible, already making your way out of the hangar as you're killing the last wave.
And we're just gonna do some movement optimizations with this fun truck boost.
Yep. Nade boosts are gonna be pretty common in this one. You won't see them that often, because obviously you want to save nades for enemies a lot of the time, but it's still a staple of the speedrun for sure.
So now we're entering the drone room. There's a bunch of drones that are gonna be here. We're gonna have to kill these 5 that are picking up that marine, and try to brute shot as many as we can here. We picked up a deployable recovery equipment in the hangar just for this purpose, because you can fire bullet weapons through it, but they can't shoot me through it.
Yeah, little known fact. A lot of people are actually surprised that you can shoot through it, but yeah. As long as it's a marine weapon, or a bullet weapon, like you said. Can be shot through one side.
So I'm punching the air here because I'm trying to trick the game to think I'm in combat to delay a checkpoint, because the game checks if you're in combat to give you a checkpoint or not, and by meleeing or jumping it'll think you're in combat. So by punching or jumping we'll try to delay it. I accidentally did not delay it well enough. But, this is weird.
Yeah, so the reason he wanted a checkpoint... Oh, you got another one. Oh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but luckily he did drop the equipment we wanted.
Yeah, so to explain what happened there, sort of, he wanted a checkpoint from before those enemies loaded in, because as soon as they load in, it's decided what equipment they're gonna drop. And the chieftain has a 1 in 5 chance of dropping a flare, and a 4 out of 5 chance of dropping an invincibility. We really want an invincibility, so we can kill him, pick it up real quick, and then use it to get out, to get through the area. But if he drops a flare, it makes it a lot more tricky. So he wanted to have that safety of reverting to the checkpoint in case he dropped a flare.
So while he was explaining that, I picked up the gravity hammer, which is probably the most useful weapon in the speedrun, and you saw why is you can use the force of the gravity hammer swing to send you flying off of boxes and grates. So that second launch I did there is called barracks dip. It saves about 2 minutes of going into the barracks, which is pretty nice. Let me take a route here to try to get a checkpoint on top of this Pelican.
Shake them off, Lieutenant.
I don't think I'm getting it. And so this is the Jetpack Clear. There's a bunch of jetpack brutes, and we have to kill 2 of these brutes that are initially spawned, and that will spawn a reinforcement wave up here, and then we're gonna try and spawn kill them.
Yeah, you saw a glitched brute as well there, who was just standing still. Only on the MCC version do you see that.
We still need to kill one more. Oh, I died unfortunately. Oh, and we're all the way back to this section, unfortunately.
Oh yeah,
this is a bad checkpoint.
This can be a very far revert as well. Oh yeah, that is unfortunate.
I might have to double revert here. Yeah, that's a bad checkpoint to get, because usually you can get a checkpoint down here at this great launch. But I didn't get it this
probably
time.
Kill the drones and try to get it. Yeah, just how Halo games are sometimes. Checkpoints are a pain. Sometimes they love you, sometimes they hate you.
Try to get this checkpoint. Doesn't look like I'm getting it. So we'll just do barracks dip again. and take the elevator ride back up. Yeah, unfortunately, checkpoints can be scarce sometimes. It makes things kind of difficult. We get to take this elevator ride back up and try this again.
Ma'am, I've got movement above and below.
And hopefully I get this checkpoint this time.
Jump packs. They're going after the thrusters. Shake them off, Lieutenant.
Still didn't get it.
See if you can. Did you try to crouch on the Pelican?
Alright, but we also pick up an active camo equipment here. That's going to be useful for later in the mission.
Yeah. Camo and invincibility are by far the two most overpowered pieces of equipment for legendary. Basically allows you to pass through one area completely for free.
Alright, no issues with Jetpack Clear this time.
Nice. That is
There's gonna
definitely
be
a difficult combat section.
Yep, it's probably one of the hardest in the game. So there's some drones that are just bouncing nade off the wall. Usually don't have any issues with them. You have more issues with your marine allies throwing nades at you.
Yeah. Same in the hangar fight actually. It's pretty common to see it there as well.
You will be the protectors of Earth and all her colonies.
So there's an instance of a Cortana moment that we're gonna try to skip as many of those throughout the game as we can. And we're just trying to do a box launch here to get past these enemies. Fortunately, I splattered on that one. Then we're going to activate our active camo here because there are a ton of enemies. You can see 2 grunts on turrets here. There's sniper jackals up there. It's just not a good time to try and run through this section without camo.
Yeah, I think the segmented run does do this without camo, but it's really hard to do.
You basically have to get a good pipe ride to have a chance.
Yeah.
So we're in the bomb room now. We're going to throw a nade at that turret brute and try to throw some nades at the brutes on the ground to try and get them to dodge away and not shoot us. And we got 3 first try, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, very good. Good display of how we use, or like how we use equipment and grenades and things in this run. Is often the goal isn't even to kill the enemy; it's just to make the enemy dodge or like distract the enemy while we run through.
Now here's a fun trick coming up. We're going to abuse some mechanics of the melee lunge and canceling the reload, and do a trick called butterflying. And it looks pretty funny. We're gonna fly on these drones to get over here pretty quickly. And we didn't have any funny business with the drones, so it looked pretty good.
Yeah, drones love to troll you there. Just fly into walls or straight up leave you at the grunts and kill you.
Early in the hangar section, I shot this box to angle it so I can do a hammer launch straight to the section to the elevator to end the mission. And now we're on a 30-second elevator ride, so if you have any donations, this is a good time to read them.
Alright, perfect. We got an amazing $100 donation from Abelis. Best of luck to all runners who are doing such a brilliant job for Save the Children. Greetings from Australia. Cheers! Thank you so much for that amazing donation going towards a great cause. We also got $5 from Jax that says, "You got this, Sam. Much love from your college teammates."
Yeah, thanks. It's my Valorant team from the university coming in clutch.
Oh, right, the D1 athlete.
Yeah, D1 athlete.
What happened?
Alright, so we're moving on to Sava Highway. This is the driving mission where we're going to be pretty much driving throughout the entire mission.
Boots on the line.
So we're gonna shoot this guy to make him be in a better spot, then we're gonna immediately grab our hog.
Let's mount up. Get the hell out of these caves.
We're gonna get our allies in our hog because Marines in our Warthog soak up a lot of damage, and that's really useful for Legendary because the vehicles in this game absolutely melt you.
Yep. Basically impossible to do any of the strats you're about to do without having Marines in your hog. you just get melted instantly.
And we're just gonna be driving out through here, so if you have any more donations or any announcements, this is a great time.
Alright, I'm gonna take this time then to update you, because it's been a while on the ending choice bid war for Dark Souls. Thanks to those amazing donations earlier, as well as now, there has been a change in the lead there. To Link the Fire is now in the lead with $778, with the Dark Lord now at $568. So if you want to change the outcome or make sure that the Link to Fire stays in the lead, you should get your donations in right now, as we are actually running out of time. You only have this and the Devil May Cry run after this to get those donations in. And hey, it goes to an amazing cause, so why not do it? It's a win-win for everyone.
Alright, so that was the first water section, and it's probably one of the most scariest parts of the mission, because there's a bunch of shade turrets and brutes and a beam jackal, so you have to take a specific driving route. And I also didn't get a checkpoint for that section, so it was really good that I got through it first try.
Yeah, this is and this shield door chopper section is probably the second hardest, right after it.
So you saw I picked up equipment through the wall there. I picked up the gravity lift. That's going to be useful because there's a section coming up where the game wants us to get out of our vehicle, but we don't want to get out of our vehicle. We just want to drape straight through it. So we pick up this gravity lift and we're going to jump over a broken bridge.
Yeah, gravity lift is a safer way of doing it. It's possible to do it without the lift, but it's really difficult, and it's not really a good strat to do on legendary anyways, because we kind of wanna take the time to wait in that area with the choppers, like I mentioned, and you have time to grab the gravel lift anyway, just to make the enemies like disperse a bit, so they're not in our way when we drive through.
Yeah, normally you have to sit here and do a big wave fight, but we're just gonna drive straight past it.
Yeah, there's nothing blocking you at all. You can just go through.
But we're gonna try to drive around this. The collision with that structure is really weird, so driving through it is kind of difficult.
Yeah, invisible walls everywhere there.
We're gonna exchange my Warthog for the Brute Chopper here. This is a pretty unique vehicle designed to smash into other vehicles to destroy them, but we're gonna use it here to just use the boost to ride up this wall. Otherwise, we have to go all the way around the hill and go up that way. And there's a few wraiths that we would have to deal with, and going this way, we don't have to deal with them. Now we're coming up onto the ending part of this mission, where the two requirements to end the mission are to kill that shade turret and to blow up the store and just be far enough forward to hit the ending trigger. So looks like both requirements were met, and that's the end of Sava Highway. Not pretty good Sava.
Yeah, that was nice. Sub 4. Clean.
Yeah, and now we're moving on to Storm, and we start the mission with a 20-second Warthog, right?
Yeah.
And fun fact, it's also RNG for the time you get out of the Warthog. It can vary for up to like 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, Marine driver just decides to have bad driving sometimes. Screw you. Did you get the wheel, or did you not look?
I wasn't even paying attention. Alright, so we're gonna get out of our Warthog and immediately shoot our Marine to get the Warthog. Unfortunate case of killing our friends. That's gonna happen a lot through the run.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean, unfortunate. it's just payback for all the times they killed you.
Plasmas, that's good. So we just try to run in through here and hit that button as fast as we can, but unfortunately we died, which is kind of rare for that section. I just didn't kill enough enemies.
It is a bit unlucky. This section is a bit of an autoscorer actually. The next area, we need to wait for the next area to load in, and it's kind of on a timer for whatever reason, where it won't load in until like another until like 30 seconds after you hit the first button. It's a little strange. I don't think we even understand exactly how it works, but you're limited in how fast you can go here, so better
we can't hit this button until we see the loading done. And unfortunately, that door in the starting section is still open, and that means it takes an extra 10 seconds to hit this button.
Yeah.
So this is the first lake bed section. So there's a phantom dropping enemies, and we're on a quota. We have to kill as many enemies, the AA Wraith and the AA Wraith and the Ghost as fast as we possibly can.
Yeah, this is one of the quite a many cases in Halo 3 where there's like a big area. You need to kill a certain number of enemies, but not all of them, to open the next area. Quite a few parts like that.
I had some awkward driving like this. Oh, I died unfortunately. Oh no, that's a really bad death. No, so now we're all the way back to the
yeah,
engines.
you got sent. Oh, you got sent back to the start. Yeah, I'm a bit delayed, so delayed on the stream.
Yeah, so it's something in Halo where that you have invisible health to go along with your shields, and I actually lost some of my health, so I got killed by that turret faster than you might think.
Yeah, also just pretty unfortunate checkpoints here. This is another one of those areas where the checkpoints are just really not nice at all. You can get one leaving this first door.
Hopefully I get it this time. I'm not getting it this time though.
Yeah, doesn't always happen.
Sierra 117. Moving as fast as you can, sir. I know he'll get it done.
We're just gonna try to do this again.
Nice stick on that brute.
Alright, the loading done. Signifies we can move to the next section. I just can't get my ghost through these barriers today, apparently.
Move to the next area. Over.
Alright, we shouldn't get killed by this guy this time. That's what should have happened. We should... See, I'm very low on shields, and basically, since I was low on health last time, basically one more bullet killed me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that it's invisible in Halo 3. You can't actually know how much health you have. You can only see your shields. If you play like Reach or Halo CE in the first Halo, you'll know that you can see your health, but in this game, it's invisible.
Yep. So now we're moving on to the second lake bed section, which is a kind of an auto-scroller, but we can speed it up a little bit by killing phantoms, because there are 2 waves of phantoms that come in and drop ghosts, and the game checks for the phantoms to be dead or deloaded to move on to the next wave or to end the section. So we're going to try to kill these phantoms as fast as we can. Actually, we didn't kill these ghosts, so we're just gonna detach this missile pod and play this a bit safe.
Yeah, so each phantom kills, if you kill the phantom on the right, saves, I think, what is it, 12 seconds or something? So it's definitely not a huge deal, and a lot of the times you will just end up giving up the phantom kills and playing it safe on Legendary. That's what happened there. Just too many enemies alive to go for it safely.
Hopefully I can... Hard to kill a ghost that's looking straight at you because their heads are hidden, but our Marines are able to get them turned. So we're going to shoot another pre-fire rocket here. I'm missing my pre-fire rockets. Oh, well, looks like we're not going to be able to get any fam kills because I couldn't get any of these ghost kills. So we're just going to sit back here and clear all the vehicles just to make sure we end the section, because no enemies and vehicles can be alive for the section to end. If you play this game casually, you know that there's a scare of the Covenant tank vehicle that comes in here, and we're supposed to fight that, but we're not going to fight that.
Spoiling.
So, This mission is the mission Bungie used to benchmark their game to make sure the game could only run on memory, because they wanted the game to run without the Xbox 360 hard drive. So in the way they do that, they have cleanups and just deload previous sections as you get through them. And we're actually going to pull our mongoose through this door. And we're going to line up in a precise way to actually clip through the door. Normally that door doesn't open until the scarab's dead, but since we able to clip through, we just deload the scarab and it counts as killing it.
Nice.
One more target, Chief.
Yeah, you have to wait there because there's an like you could just go forward and go to the end of the mission, but there would be like no enemies there. There's nothing loaded. Like you couldn't finish the mission because everything's tied to the script, right? And the script requires you to well, quote unquote, kill the scarab, which obviously we did there.
So that was the warehouse section. That can be a little scary, but I got some good nades on the brutes and the rockets on them. So we
that was nice.
Tried to run past them. Now we're gonna be running to the end of the mission. We're gonna pick up a sniper here and kill this brute. We got flared, and you can see flares are fun because I'm very blind. And we're just gonna kill these enemies and run past them into the end of the mission.
You would have liked a invincibility from that chieftain.
Oh, unfortunately I died. I'm going back to the starter warehouse. Yeah, you can see there's some brutal checkpoints here.
Okay. Yeah, so it was a bit unlucky there. Like I said earlier, it's a 1 in 5 chance that a chieftain will have a flare. So that was a 1 in 5 that he didn't get an invincibility. Usually you can make it worth without it, but unfortunately even the regens from the minor brutes deloaded before he could get to them. So it was really tough getting through there with no equipment.
I don't have a bubble. I'll have this checkpoint this time though. I just got a little cone launch. That was pretty sick. So we're gonna try to do the section again. Hopefully not die this time. It's unfortunate that he throws this flare. This is what is making this a bit more difficult.
Oh, did you get it again?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is really unlucky.
Take heart, my brothers. Only our enemies should fear this raging storm.
Yeah, no regions this time either.
Alright, we're trying to look for a plasma pistol. Okay, we have a plasma pistol. Now we can actually proceed to the end of the mission this time. And the way to end this mission is we have to kill this AA gun. And to kill this AA gun is that we have to destroy that ball that drops below it. And it only takes 2 sniper shots and a plasma pistol shot to actually kill it. Unfortunately I mistimed it, so we're gonna have to try this again. I missed, and there we go. Storm had a couple unfortunate deaths, so that was kind of rough.
Yeah, Storm can be a rough mission. Like, the checkpoints are just so bad sometimes.
Yeah, but now we're on to Floodgate, which is the shortest mission of the game, and it's also a movement playground, because we get a full gravity hammer at the start of the mission, and there are a ton of boxes to do launches off of.
Find the crashed flood ship. Overload its engine core. We either destroy
Yeah, you'll be seeing, so on Crow's Nest you saw a couple box launches. On this level it's just, we just go wild. There's boxes pretty much everywhere. You also be seeing, I guess, the debut of the deployable cover launch, so look forward to that. It's a different type of launch you can do.
You'll see that coming up. If you haven't seen it before, it's pretty fun to watch. I might splatter here. Okay, we didn't splatter. That's pretty nice. We're gonna throw a grenade here to try to bounce this cone off ourselves and launch off of it. Alright, we're gonna pick up this deployable cover through the floor, and that's going to be useful for the next section coming up. Grenade jump up here. So there's another Cortana moment in here, so we're gonna jump on this box, throw a nade at this one, and land on it as it's falling. and to avoid the trigger.
Yep, just like we did on CR-117, the first mission. The trigger is just on the or close to the floor, so we just dodge the trigger.
So we're delaying another checkpoint here, so we get a good one for the deployable cover launch coming up.
Hail humans and take heed. This is the carrier, Shadow of Intent.
So I'm going to jump on this debris.
Clear this sector while we deal with the flood.
Oh, I got a nice one first try.
Oh, well done, mate. That's nice.
So if you jump inside the DC, the game tries to push you out, and if you move out at a certain speed, it will maximize a force vector and just give you a crazy amount of speed. And in the Master Chief Collection version of the game, it runs on a 60 tick rate, which makes them more powerful. It makes them powerful enough to clip through walls.
Yeah.
So we killed that spike, that pure form flood, to try to get a checkpoint here. It doesn't look like I'm getting it, unfortunately. We're gonna do another box launch and use a trip mine to jump off of it. Fun fact, that's also an MCC exclusive trip because you can't jump off trip mines in the original version of the game.
Yep. That was nicely done, man. Good Floodgate.
Yeah, this is a really good Floodgate. I'm really happy with it. And we're just trying to optimize the movement through the moment by hammering our way through here.
Yeah, when
Go all the
we
way to the
can't,
flood juice?
yeah, that was nice. When we can't skip these moments, if we have a hammer, we'll usually try to hammer or nade boost through it, just to like stop or slow down as much as possible. If we don't, you can do diagonal movement, like you can move diagonally instead of straight forwards, and it's, for whatever reason, when you're in one of those moments, it's quicker than walking forward.
So now we're moving on to the Arc, which is where a lot of people say the run starts, because the next two missions, the Arc and the Covenant, take up almost half the run. And they're pretty difficult missions, require good execution. So we're in a Pelican ride and just a little bit of walking, so if you have some donations, this is a good time.
Absolutely. Let's see here. We got $25 from Bashan that says, "Good luck, Gelk's little brother." Thank you so much for those $25. And let's see, I want to quickly remind everyone that we do, not only with the bid war left, we also have the 60,000 milestone there for the bonus run or bonus game of Resident Evil Village by Gidano that we still need to meet as well. We are right now at 52,000 out of 247, so we still have ways to go. But I believe in you guys. We can get this met before the final run of GeoGuessr tonight. Let's do it for a great cause. Save those children. And let's have an amazing marathon, everyone.
Alright, so that was the first section. I had to collat 2 brutes. Then try to pick up this brute shot. Then that AA gun section, we just do a brute shot grenade jump to skip most of that section, which there's a lot of enemies and it drops 2 hunters later on, so we don't have to kill those. And we just get able just to walk on past them.
Yeah, can I just say, you do not want to miss that GeoGuessr run. Trust me. Alright, so yeah, next section here, we'll be picking up a rocket launcher and getting in this goose. And this is another case where we use like the scariness factor of the different weapons. We used the brute shot there a little bit to scare some grunts, and here the rocket launcher is useful for the same thing.
We're gonna drive up to this rock to avoid these prowlers that are coming up because they'll just kill you 90% of the time. So by hiding on the rock, we can just chill and wait for them to pass and just drive on through. Then here's a fun little exchange of vehicles. We're gonna ditch our mongoose for this ghost. Unfortunately, we might die here because we're getting absolutely melted by choppers. Unfortunately. Yep, so we're gonna have to wait for these guys to pass again. Yeah, see, that's how fast vehicles can kill you in this game.
Yeah, especially ghosts, man. Ghosts kill you ridiculously fast on Legendary. It's like 3 or 4 shots you can die to from full shields.
So we're gonna try doing this again. Hopefully we don't get shot in the back by some choppers. We're good this time. Yeah, that just shows how much variance could go in. Just that time I didn't get shot at all. So we're gonna use the ghost here to ride along this cliff. Riding along this cliff is important because there's a couple ghosts down there, and like we said earlier, they kill you absurdly fast, but it also skips a trigger that spawns a bunch of enemies over here, so we can just drive on past without any issues. Then we're coming up to probably the most difficult section of the mission, called Dawn Clear. I'll let Sorix go ahead and explain that while I focus on it.
Yeah, so this is another one of those areas, like I mentioned, where you need to kill almost everything to advance to the next section. There's 3 wraiths in total, 2 AA wraiths and 1 normal wraith. First of all, he lined up 2 rocket shots and a couple snipes to take care of some enemies beforehand. Then he'll be taking out this first wraith and AA gun. After he does that, he'll be turning around trying to snipe some brutes. You need to kill at least 3 of these brutes to end the whole section, assuming you kill the turret grunts as well. You can have 1 enemy left alive at the end. That was nice, he got a good rocket on both of the ghosts. It's really good. And then take out the A wraiths. That was really clean, man.
Yep, that was a pretty good Dawn Clear. So the forward onto Dawn's gonna come down, and usually brings down it does bring down a tank that we used to use to go through the next section, but we're not gonna use the tank because we're going to go out of bounds with this ghost.
Also known as Tankless, very creative name.
So we're gonna use the wind gust of the Dawn coming down to boost our ghost up here, and it actually pushes us forward even more to get us through an elastic barrier. I messed up one of my brute shots there. And we had to push this ghost through a second elastic barrier because if we try to get in it right now, it'll slingshot us back in bounds. And sometimes it can be a little bit finicky getting this ghost out.
Yeah, so the barriers in this game are like extremely weird and like pretty damn sturdy. It can be pretty hard to get through them sometimes to get out of bounds. But.
Yeah, but now we're out of bounds, and normally there's a bunch of enemies in the next section we have to deal with, driving up to it, but taking this way, we don't have to deal with them at all.
Yeah, so this is, this is one of those parts where it's technically, not faster to go up here, but it's legendary, and going through down there without a tank is pretty much like impossible in an RTA setting, so... And at the end, realistically, this is going to be faster than trying to just YOLO it through every time.
So one consequence of not taking the tank is we don't have it for this section, so we have to do some different strats for this section. So we're going to slide jump and use a brute shot to get up here early. And there's a few wraiths and a phantom we have to kill. So we're going to run up here and try to spawn kill this phantom. See if my shots hit. Unfortunately, they did not.
Yeah, trying to shoot the phantom's one of the phantom's weak spot, you can actually kill it in only 4 fuel rod shots if you hit that one of those back wings.
Yeah, unfortunately I was a little bit off, so my shots weren't connecting.
Yeah, it is a pretty precise area to hit.
Good this time, yep.
Also reloading there, just because it can go really bad if the Phantom doesn't die early. A lot of consequences. It'll start dropping enemies, the Wraith will be alive, and so on, and it can just go out of control.
We grab this chopper to pick up those 2 shades, and we go over to this Wraith. He's not turning, so hopefully this other Wraith doesn't fire a bad mortar. Okay, we're fine.
Yeah, you need to be really careful there. You need, definitely a scary section. That second Wraith is pretty much the most dangerous part, because you die to, on Legendary, even while you're in a Wraith, you die to a single Wraith mortar from an enemy Wraith. so you can't afford to be hit even once.
Luckily, the second time through was pretty good, so now we just have to wait for Spark to open this door. So,
yep.
A little break here, so if you have any donations, this is a good time.
Absolutely. We got $25 from Happy Camper that says, "Thanks to all the runners for this great event. Also a big thank you for all the people behind the scenes, technicians, artists, commentators, restreams, etc, etc. With us hard emote. Thank you so much for that lovely donation, Happy Camper." We also got $20 from Jan Goose. "Solid run so far. Good luck on the rest of the run, Sam."
So thanks,
Thank
Jack.
you so much. Thank you so much, Jan Goose.
Yeah, just after this door opens, another button we have to hit here to, well, to advance the mission, but also to, I guess, let our friendly troops go over the bridge, and leading into the Scarab section of this level. So this requires some pretty tricky driving here. A Scarab just spawned behind him right at the start of the area. He lined up a fuel rod shot there to take out a phantom turret. That could end up shooting him if he didn't do that and messing up this next part. He'll be driving down to the bottom of this area where there's a Scarab. The Scarab that spawned in earlier is on a timer here to drop down, and he's gonna try to spawn kill it, basically board it as soon as it comes down. Can't tell if you got it or not because of the stream delay.
I got it first try.
Yeah, nice, well done. Definitely very tricky section there. If you mess that up at all or die, the checkpoint is right like back up at the top, so it's a very big revert. It can be very scary. Well done there.
Yeah, it's something that I do that a lot of people don't do, is line up that fuel rod shot. It just I really like it because it just makes sure that the fan does not shoot you.
Yeah. Like, even if the phantom shooting you isn't like the main problem, like you're not really scared of it killing you, but just that method of combining that frag nade with the fuel rod boost, you need to have completely full health and completely full shields, basically. So you cannot be you can't afford to be shot at all during like the latter half of that part.
So we drove up to the spire, like we kind of went the scenic route because going straight up, there's a bunch of enemies on this spire, and we don't want to deal with them. They're most likely will kill us, so we just go up and around and take the safe way.
Yeah, it's not even slower here because we're waiting. We have to wait for the Pelican to come in with Arbiter to progress the mission anyway. So
we got to kill this Marine, capital D colon. Killing that Marine is useful because he has a dialogue with Spark, and this door won't open until that dialogue's finished.
Well done, Spartan. Joy.
Yeah, that's a fun coincidence of a voice line because the Arbiter jumps out of the Pelican and tells us how much of a good job we did killing that Marine.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're just walking down to the next section where the goal of this is we're trying to activate the map of we're on the Ark, which activates all the Halo rings, so we're just trying to figure out where they do that from. So we're just walking down there.
Did you say killing the Marine skips a voice line, by the way, or did you just...
It skips dialogue.
Yeah. Just making sure that was said. We're not killing for the sake of killing here.
So that room can be a little bit scary, but we had a bubble shield, so it makes it pretty consistent.
Chief, you got a whole mess of hostile air inbound.
Yeah. Now, after that, we need to come back through that room as well. So it's good that you kill those two brutes as well, and they won't be a problem the next time. Very important, using the fuel rod scariness factor here. Again, very, very important for making some grunts scared here. Makes this way more consistent.
So this chieftain would ramp with the Mauler brutes, and the chieftain is a little bit annoying to get through because you'll get one tap by the Maulers, and you're just trying to kill them.
Yeah, this is a rough section, man, but thankfully the checkpoint's really close.
Yeah, got through this the second try, so it's not too bad. It's not too big of a revert, so it's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there are
Not
4
bad at all.
camo brutes in here that we need to kill. Well, we don't absolutely need to kill them, but if we don't kill them, they'll go into the next mission, and I just blew myself up, so we have to do this chieftain ramp again, unfortunately. But,
Oh wait, what happened? Oh,
I tried to, I turned around and killed the
Oh,
the jackal, but I was too close.
Yeah, I just saw it.
That was a bit of a mistake, but I think I was gonna die either way to the plasma pistols.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the This is definitely one of the places in the level where you're most likely to die. Probably the most likely to die.
Yeah, there's just no good way to do this. Because the brutes are just running up on you, and if you don't kill them like in a precise time, they'll be in a bad spot.
Yeah,
should be good,
oftentimes it is just better to brute force it like this as well. Like you might think, oh, he died like 4 times or whatever here, he should have just cleared the full thing. But even trust me, like even dying a couple times is still faster than just clearing the whole room. Especially on average.
Trap on them. Okay, yeah. Also earlier, it's kind of unlucky that the chieftain got trapped on the jackals and like kind of blocked the doorway.
Yeah. You had some unfortunate jackal spawns in that room as well. You were getting overcharged every time. That won't always happen. It's just unfortunate that on that checkpoint he was there.
This is the ending fight here. We have to kill all these brutes in the chieftain to make sure no enemies are alive here. And
Yeah, you saw
bait
the brutes
chieftain
just...
We're trying to bait the chieftain
go
do
for
a
the
certain
backsmack.
attack, or to do a backsmack here and get out the one-hit kill.
Oh, he's trolling.
Yep. Sometimes he can do funny things. But luckily we got
But
him in the
yeah,
end.
you saw the brutes were just kind of standing there and letting him stick them. You're supposed this is like a scripted sequence where you're supposed to. The chieftain's supposed to go like, oh, hey Master Chief, jewel me, and you're supposed to like jewel him in that ring while the other brutes watch. But it's we can just like kill the brutes real quick as they're like figuring out what's going on and just cheat in the game.
So that's the end of Arc. Now we're moving on to the Covenant, and we're going to hot drop onto this beach, and we're going to steal an AA Wraith, which normally you're not supposed to be able to drive the AA Wraith, but we're going to do some strats to grab it.
Over. Roger that, Hocus. Get out of there.
We're gonna hit this AA Wraith with a laser shot to weaken it up a little bit. Unfortunately, this chieftain's firing his field rod at me. This section could be a little bit scary because I might die here to the smaller guy. Yep. Unfortunate that he ran up there like that.
Commander, this is 2-3. Both my wingmen
Yeah, so
and
this
our
is
only
an
hope.
alternate
Over.
strat for clearing this beach.
Get
Like,
out of there.
normally you're supposed to kill all the enemies and a pelican drops in with a warthog. But we're trying to do it an alternate way, which is about the same speed as clearing it, but much safer.
And this time the brute didn't run up. Oh, I jumped into the AA shot.
Oh no.
Commander, this is Kilo 2-3. Both my wingmen and our only
Unfortunate,
hope.
but
Over.
Yeah, that doesn't happen as often as you'd think. Actually, it's very rare for them to actually hit you. Don't see that often.
so we're just trying to grab this AA Wraith. Normally you're not supposed to drive AA Wraiths. If you kill the driver, the game just scripts them to explode, but that's why this is a little bit finicky getting on here. As we have to get on top of it, break the latch, and kill the brute and enter the Wraith on the same frame. But we got this time. You know, we're just gonna take it up to the first tower.
Yeah, so you're not really supposed to drive this vehicle normally. The way they like prevented you from being able to drive it is as soon as the driver dies, it'll just automatically blow up. But there is one frame window where you can enter it.
If you just hold the action button and kill the brute driving it at the same time, and you're able to get in the driver's seat.
Yeah, so it's not actually like a one-frame input because you can cue the action by holding the button before. So you'll see it blow up as he exits.
I will beat the Prophet's shield like a drum. By the time the barrier falls, he will beg.
We're gonna kill this grunt. He's trying to get in that ghost, and we want that ghost, so take him out before he gets into it. And then we're gonna grab a beam rifle and take this ghost. That's a nice checkpoint to have because entering this first tower can be pretty scary because we're just gonna brute force our way into it, and there's a lot of enemies down there, as you'll see right here. We're gonna try to do a good boost pattern and toss our bubble shield here. No issues with that.
Yeah, that was nice. Entering the first tower here, picking up a power drain, which is very useful for next combat section.
I got the triple kill with one BR burst.
Oh, nice. The clean flex from the D1 athlete Valorant gamer.
Right, so we jumped on top of the elevator. There's a weird hitbox up there. And we're gonna throw a power drain and a frag up here to kill these brutes.
Take it down.
As they're power drained.
Chief, find the tower controls and shut
And
it down.
no issues there, so I'm happy about that. Because you might have noticed that our last checkpoint was when we got in that ghost.
That's one.
Yeah, this is another one of those areas where the checkpoints are just super far back. Also, good that you got the invincibility there. Don't always get that, especially with that strat.
You can either activate it or a fifth of the time he has a flare.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna activate our invince and run through this next section because there's just a lot of enemies here and they'll definitely kill us.
Yeah. Also, there's a camo right after this, so the only way we can make use of both the camo and the invincibility is just to use the invince right away anyway, so might as well.
Get in, sir.
Like I said, camo and invincibility definitely the two best equipments for legendary.
Kill that brain because we want him to drop a frag. And now we're just driving back down to the Hornet section, so if you have any donations, it's a good time.
I'm going to quickly take this time to remind everyone of what we're raising money for, which is for Save the Children. Growing up in violence and the threat of violence can lead to long physical, emotional and mental health problems. Save the Children works with families and communities to promote positive social norms and behaviors to help prevent violence against children. Thanks to your support, Save the Children keeps children safe from harms like poverty, abuse, neglect, exploitation and violence. And Save the Children is transforming the way emergency care is delivered, putting a world-class team of health professionals to work for children anywhere in the world within 72 hours. So thank you everyone that keeps sending in those donations, because you guys are doing such an amazing cause.
Alright, so we're in the first flying section of the game, and you'll notice that I'm flying this Hornet diagonally. It's 20% faster to fly the Hornet diagonally versus flying it straight.
Yeah, same thing as in the Cortana moments. For whatever reason, it's overlooked. You can just go faster diagonally. Nice shark strats, by the way. Shout out to Sparrow.
Paradoxic, dipping the Hornet in the water. One of the OG Halo 3 runners. Alright, we're gonna juggle a brute shot here into this next section. There's gonna be a bunch of drones that will kill us very fast, and we need to kill 8 of them just to get them to leave us alone.
Yeah,
we got more than
very
enough.
Effective way to clear out drones.
We're gonna jump up here to the weird elevator hitbox again, and we're gonna wait for a visual key to do a grenade jump, so we can take out some of these enemies as fast as we possibly can.
Yeah, really important to get up here early, because as you see, they just kind of stand around and let you shoot them. And if you're too slow, they're gonna disperse and activate their camo, and it'll make the whole thing miserable.
And if you do that quick, that chieftain's AI can break, and he just stands there and does nothing.
Yep, Nice side effect.
So now we're on the third tower exit, which is one of the scariest parts of this mission because there's just a ton of enemies, and we're just gonna try it and hammer launch past them.
Weapons system disabled.
Pray for a
And I
good
got a
checkpoint,
good checkpoint
as well.
on the elevator, so that's
Nice.
nice.
Away from the flood.
Why would the parasite come here?
And they hunters down here flip my box, so I'm not able to go for this exit launch.
Oh yeah, that is unfortunate.
Stop the truth. Then we deal with the flood.
So we're gonna hug this left wall and just try to avoid being seen by these enemies as long as we possibly can, and just jump away. And we got through it first try, which I'm very happy about.
Nice. Luckily, you had Arbiter distracting them a little bit, although he did just die very early, which is
Yep.
uncommon to see.
Take down truth.
Yeah. The
Pretty
Arbiter can be
solid
in different
copy,
places
yeah.
down there. Yeah, this is a
Punch through the cliff.
pretty happy about this Covenant so far, but there's still a lot more Covenant yet to play, so we're not out of the woods yet.
Yep.
So we're just driving up to the next section where we're going to be fighting not one, not three, but 2 Scarabs.
Wait, how many scarabs?
I think it was, I think 2. Not sure, I don't remember.
Nice little, maybe the Marine will remind us how many it is. Nice little
So we're
skip here, going up
Yeah,
the
we're taking
mountain
this driving
here.
route here to, unfortunately we got knocked over by a fuel rod, and it knocked the Warthog into me and splattered me, but that's fun. Haven't seen that one.
Everything they've got.
A fuel rod guy can be a pain.
Yeah, we're driving up this hill to avoid some vehicles and some other enemies, so we can just drive down over here. It's usually safe, but sometimes the fuel rod guy can hit you. Oh, dude, that was a fling. I might die to that.
Oh, oh wow. That was probably the biggest thing I've seen there, actually.
Yeah, if you flip your vehicle when you're like standing on it, it'll fling you like that.
Oh yeah, you even activate the Hornet trigger.
Alright, so here's the 2 Scarab section. We're going to land on this first Scarab
I count 2 scarabs.
and try to kill it as soon as it spawns. So, interesting thing about these Scarabs is you can kill them before they finish their landing animation, but it'll send you flying and you'll pretty much splatter on anything.
Yeah, it's interesting. These scarabs are different from every other scarab in the game. The other ones, while they're in their animation, they're just invincible. You just have to wait a couple seconds or whatever to kill them.
Fortunately, I had a Banshee shooting me there, so I died before I can even make it to the second Scarab.
Yeah, that was unlucky. But yeah, for these scarabs, they're vulnerable in the entire thing. But if you try to kill them, it just freaks out and sends you flying.
The trickiest part of this section is landing on the second Scarab because it turns and it's just hard to land on it. Yeah, but getting on this first section is first Scarab is pretty easy because you can just land on it like that.
Yeah, put the Hornet in a pretty specific spot there as well, in the doorway. It like, it's a pretty smart strat. It like blocks the brutes that spawn on the Scarab from coming out as well.
Alright, so we got the second Scarab this time, so we're just gonna hide back here and wait for the Scarab to blow up because that guarantees us a checkpoint.
Yeah, nice sight, nice safe strats.
And we're gonna get that Warthog that just went flying over there.
Both scarabs down. Well done. Marines, kill the stragglers.
Also forgot to mention that the Pog soundtrack was playing while we're doing this.
Yeah, Halo 3 soundtrack is probably one of the best video game soundtracks.
The flood scales the Citadel's far wall. Activate this bridge oracle.
Trying to kill an Arbiter here because doing a dialogue skip, but he's being very adamant about not dying.
Oh my god. Does he full timer there? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Nice. Little elastic barrier here. You can get your Warthog through by exiting at the right time, because it only stops you from going through with the Warthog while you're inside it, and it doesn't check if you leave.
So we're gonna set up a box launch here called Citadel Launch, and it's one of the probably the box launch that saves the most time in the game. revert that.
So yeah, so this can be a pretty tricky one as well. You'll notice he's tilting the box on his side in a very particular way and actually setting up in a specific spot. When you tilt a box on its side like that, that's how you can get the most power possible out of a box launch. Nice, kill the chieftain as well. He'll be leaving that hammer invincibility there, and he can grab it on the way back.
Up, and we're coming up on the Citadel return, which is my favorite section of the run because there's just some really powerful box launches, and you just go flying.
Yeah, this whole inside Citadel section is one of the best in the game. Just sick box launches all over the place.
Shout out to the Mibulus.
Shoutouts to Mib.
I'm gonna activate this invincibility early because I'm pretty sure I was one bullet from dying there.
Good call.
So we're just doing our box launches, and you can tell we're all almost back to the bridge. We're trying to get back to the elevator we came from. So I'm gonna wait for a checkpoint here. Okay, we got this checkpoint, so I'm gonna go for this last launch.
Ooh, that was almost a super good last launch actually. Still really good.
And that's the end of Covenant. So Halo has this feature starting in Halo 2 called Carryover. In some missions, you can carry over the weapons and grenades you had from the last mission to the next mission. And Covenant into the Cortana is one of those missions that we do carry over into. And I'm going to switch my FPS to 60 here because there's a ton of Cortana and Gravemind moments in this mission, and the deceleration into those moments is not as strong if you're on 60 FPS.
Yeah, makes it a bit faster and way easier to manage.
So I play this mission on 60 FPS throughout the entire mission. There are some people that switch for every moment, which is a little overkill, but
I offer no forgiveness of other sins.
There's a little bit of time saved to be had by switching.
Yeah.
So we're gonna drop down here. We actually did a moment overlap, so we triggered the second moment while the first one was still playing, and unfortunately I died there. But if you do a moment overlap, the second moment will just stop playing once the first moment finishes.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the other way of skipping these Cortana moments, is having two play at the same time. It only skips the second one you trigger.
And we're trying to get down this hole at a specific time, because if we go down too fast, the flood up top are like already running up and trying to be in a bad spot. We're tossing our bubble shield up here this time. Oh, this guy had a hammer, so we get a hammer refill.
Nice, that's lucky.
Yeah, that guy can either spawn with a hammer or a shotgun or a sword. If he has a shotgun, it's really scary because shotguns one-shot you.
Yeah, shotgun is a crazy weapon to be up against. It can one-shot you from like really far away, like way farther away than it should even.
Shotgun's definitely very scary, but got the luckiest spawn with a gravity hammer flood. And he also didn't have a shield, so we can just kill him in one shot. Usually those flood have, since they're elite flood, they can have shields, and they don't die in one brute shot, but if they don't have shield, they do die in one brute shot.
Yeah, technically you could overlap these two moments. You saw him go through here, but it's not really possible to do, or not really viable to do in Legendary full game. But it's something you would see in IL runs.
But we pick up a deployable cover, and we're going to throw it down this hole, and that's going to be useful for later in the mission because we're going to have to backtrack through this section. And we're going to do a hammer launch here and try to get through this section as fast as we can and not die to these enemies. There's a lot of enemies we can die to.
Yeah, pretty
Well, on shields,
important
but we didn't die.
camo. Yeah, pretty important camo that he grabbed there. This mission has a ton of camos throughout the missions, and so we just abuse those wherever we can.
Now, we picked up the energy sword because the energy sword one-shots pretty much all the flood.
Yep. Swapped it out for a brute shot though, because we'll be needing it for some explosive boosts.
Yeah, and that's the reason we use the camo right there, is that big wave of flood that comes out.
Has taught me.
And even the spider flood that just have the long range will just absolutely melt you for that section.
Yeah.
So this next section is called Hell Room. It's called Hell Room because we have to do an ascent, and there's just enemies everywhere, and you get killed ridiculously fast. I'm gonna do a safe strat here by going up here and grabbing a camo, then doing a hammer jump up to the top. So if you ever struggle with this section in your casual playthrough, just know you can do that strat now. Know how to deal with it.
Yeah, I have memories of that room from the first time playing it on Legendary for sure.
I have walked the edge of the abyss. I have seen your future.
We're just trying to hammer our way through the moment. And the room coming up is called Reactor Room, and we're going to do a pretty cool box launch that sends us to the other side of the Reactor Room.
Yeah, this is one of those tilted box launches where it gives you a ton of power. Just like the Citadel one. Nice, that was good. First try.
We're going to exchange our camo for a deployable cover here. Try to do DC launch later. And we're going to try to do another moment overlap here. We have to get to a certain spot down this hallway to activate the next moment. And there's the second moment. You'll see once this moment finishes, we got our full movement speed back. And now we break Cortana out of her stasis.
Yeah, that is the objective of this mission in the game lore, is we need to save Cortana. Now we got her, we need to basically go back to the start of the mission to evac. So this whole second half of the mission is just backtracking. Although it'll be a bit different because the ship is blowing up. Oh, nice! You got the.
I got the DC launch.
I didn't know you do that forwards.
Yeah, for some reason I cannot get sideways in moments. So.
This reactor
Oh really?
start a chain reaction.
Yeah, so I'd go for a forwards there. Now we activate the reactors, and we have to blow up these reactors. And we have our safety bubble shield because, as you can see, there's just flood everywhere.
Yeah, this is a very stressful section on the journey.
Yeah, and you can see my checkpoint's not for very far. It's pretty far away.
Yeah, I think this is the longest reward in the game, potentially, because you won't get he likely won't get another checkpoint for a minute or two after this. No pressure.
Yep. So this, I forgot to mention, this room's called Hell's Hallway. There's a lot of room with a Hell prefix because it's absolutely hell.
Yeah. This level, especially like playing this level casually on Legendary, is just like definitely, I think, the hardest. But
So
speedrun, it
there
definitely.
are no brutes over here, so I can get a checkpoint here. We're gonna try to kill these guys. Okay, I did get the checkpoint, so that's really nice.
Nice. Yeah. Not
But here's the
guaranteed that
deployable
one.
cover we set up earlier in the mission. We have it here because the game wants us to run through this way, but we're just gonna jump up the way we came. And that saves about like 10 seconds.
Clean, nice.
Go
And
sit
you're
here and
supposed
see
to
if I
go
get this
around
checkpoint.
there.
Looks like I'm not getting this checkpoint, so we'll just keep on progressing. Sometimes you can get a checkpoint there by just waiting, but I'm not getting it this time.
Can you get both that one and the one you got before?
You can, but I think I got the one in the camo room so late, I just didn't have the time.
Oh.
I actually died to that popcorn flood, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I didn't have enough brute shot ammo to deal with those enemies, and not having the checkpoint there makes a reroll a little bit lengthier. I might not have the shield. I forgot to activate my camo, that's why. So we're just gonna since I forgot to activate my camo, I'll just run through the section since I don't have the health to do the brute shot jump. So this is the section the game intended you to go through.
Yeah, just showing the viewers what we skipped.
Yep. Yeah, we just want to have the all-encompassing method, but we also get the checkpoint this time around. Because being low on brute shot ammo is kind of rough here because there's some enemies here that will still definitely kill you. I died to that spike. That's unfortunate.
Oh, that is actually unlucky. So the spike grenades, there's like one spike in the spike grenade that even if it hits you once, it just insta kills you, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened there. Right. So if you get an unlucky bounce there.
I was trying to save a brute shot here to validate my run. There's a trick here called Trap Special that we joke around with, to saying you have to hit it to validate your run, or even go for it, but I don't have brute shot ammo, so only saves like 1 second if you hit it cleanly.
Yeah, it's just a little brute shot jump through that gap, saves going around the corner.
We want our brute shot empty here because this is another mission into the next mission that has carryover, and we do not want to carry over to the next mission because you start with a full rocket launcher in the next mission, and we need all those rockets. And having an empty brute shot will guarantee us to not carry over.
Yeah.
So now we're moving on to Halo, the final mission of the game. I'm going to switch back to Unlimited real quick. So, and we have just a fair bit of walking to do before we start the fighting section, so if you have any donations, this is a great time.
Perfect. We got some coming in right now for you here. We have $15 from Cree55 that says, "My share to support the children. Keep up the great work and good luck to all the runners." And we got $20 from Sleek that says, "Best of luck, Gelk and Sorix. Bring it home for Halo runs and save the children." Thank you so much for those generous donations.
Did somebody say haloruns.com?
Someone say haloruns.com, the location for all your Halo speedrunning needs.
Thanks, League.
Okay, so we
grab the hammer. Oh, 89. Let's go.
That's a nice hammer. So that hammer can spawn with between 50 and 90 ammo, and we got almost a full hammer, so that's really nice.
Yeah, 89 is perfect. Anything over 85 is perfect ammo because it goes by 5, so anything between 85 and 90 is the same.
So we fired a rocket at Johnson there. We're killing Johnson early before Spark does. Spoilers, but killing Johnson skips dialogue, but we also want Johnson alive because his Spartan laser is very useful for the section.
Yeah, so killing him, but making sure his dead body doesn't fall off the edge. He'll just revive with the laser again and help us out. Very convenient.
So we're just trying to rocket as much fuzz as we possibly can. Then we're gonna hop down and get some more rocket ammo.
This is one of the fights in the game where it's like probably the most unpredictable fight. It's just all the spawns are random, like it goes different every single time, and you really have to just adapt.
Yeah, I'll just leave that guy alone, I guess. And we're gonna jump back up to the top of the spire and walk back up.
So that's the second wave spawning? That's pretty good time.
No, not yet. Well, not quite. Second wave?
That was the second wave.
Oh, it was? I count the second wave as like when the grave mine dialogue happens. That's why I consider the second wave.
I say that's the third wave. I guess we just
so we'll know the next wave comes in when grave mine has a dialogue. So, yep, and there's the dialogue we were looking for.
consume the galaxy of flesh and mind and
Yeah, so for the last wave, he'll be hoping to
I just got
clear out
melee'd.
enemies.
Also,
and-
now we have to go back. That's like decent.
Oh,
reboot.
that is unlucky, man, that he did that much. The melee damage is a little like random as well. I think it doesn't always do the same. You were pretty.
Yeah,
good
I
on
was
shields
almost
there.
full shield.
Yeah, that was actually unlucky.
Yeah, shield flood are annoying to deal with because they just take they soak up a lot more damage. You can see most of these enemies just die with one BR burst, but they have a shield. They don't. And I have a nice checkpoint this time for the last wave.
Yeah, you might have seen some enemies deload there as well. There's some cleanup scripts running again to save memory. So at the end of the waves, it likes to deload enemies sometimes, just to
We're
make
gonna
space for the
turn
next
around
one.
here and try to deload these spider floods, and looks like we got a really good deload.
I'm tracking additional dispersal
Nice. Yeah,
pods.
if you kill all the combat
Give me a
forms
minute.
before the spiders make it to the top, they'll almost always deload like that. It saves a ton of time.
Shout out to Sorks for that strat of carrying that plasma rifle up there. I didn't know that plasma rifle existed.
Oh really?
Yeah.
do I take life or give it?
It'd be useful because we're gonna have to trek back through this section later, and there's a ton of enemies, and having dual plasma rifles makes it a lot easier. So we're coming up to the most difficult boss fight of all time.
Yeah,
It's
very,
the fight with
very hard.
343 Guilty Spark.
Silence for the runner, please. This is. I mean, it does have a pretty difficult trick to be fair, but it's not
Yeah.
the fight.
Yeah, the fight's actually really easy, but there's a trick here. We're gonna try to get behind him, and we're gonna use this auto turret to try to jump behind him, because normally he just pushes you back, but we just try to go around him, and that allows us to pick up the Spartan laser earlier and actually progress the fight quicker. Now we're gonna line up a Spartan laser shot.
Yeah, can't actually laser him immediately. Just because he's invincible until that point. But it still saves time grabbing the laser early because it skips some waiting.
Alright, so we're gonna juggle our hammer here because the Spartan laser we have right now has infinite ammo, and the game doesn't want us to have an infinite ammo Spartan laser, so they're gonna take away our weapons. But that room behind us is still, the edge is still loaded in, so we propped up our gravity hammer on the door so we can just pick it up through the door.
Yeah, that's nice. Even though we could get the infinite spark ammo laser through, but hammer is more important. Also got a refill on the hammer ammo because we gave it to Johnson on purpose, and then when he dies with it, whenever an AI or a friendly ally dies with a weapon in this game, it refills the ammo, or rather it re-rolls the ammo, so it's random again how much you get.
So we picked up our second plasma rifle here, and we're gonna wait for our Arbiter to run up here. Normally we just run through and let the Flood pull the Sentinel aggro, but it's a kind of risky, and having an Arbiter run through first just makes this section really safe. Because he has dual plasma rifles as well, and he just melts through these Flood.
Yeah, definitely good call for Marathon, taking this a little safe. Because again, the checkpoint is back at the cutscene for this, so even if you die once, it's really bad.
That's what makes running Legendary so difficult, is just the lack of checkpoints and deaths being so punishing.
Yeah.
So this room is pretty scary. There's a bunch of enemies here, and we're just trying to run past them, and hopefully they don't chase us. Okay, looks like we're not getting chased, so that's good.
Yeah, you saw him shoot that carrier a bit. That was actually to prevent it from blowing up. It staggers it, so it won't try to blow up when you run past and kill you.
So Bungie left a trap here. They left a bunch of popcorn up here, and you might not think they'll kill you, but they'll one-shot you even on easy.
Come on, Spartan, go, go!
There's like so many clips of just easy runners dying to those popcorn.
All right, so now we're
Getting
entering
reverted like 2 minutes.
the famous Warthog Run with the amazing soundtrack playing in the background. So how this works is the panels are blowing up underneath us. Where they blow up is going to be the same every time, but where the panels go is completely random. So it is not uncommon for someone to get hit with a panel and get knocked off the edge.
Yeah. And of course, the checkpoints are like a minute and a half apart, so if it
There
happens...
are 3 roundabouts, and you only get the checkpoints at the roundabouts, and then you get 1 checkpoint afterwards, and that's it for the entire Warthog Run.
Yeah, oftentimes it likes to skip checkpoints as well, so it's not even guaranteed.
So yeah, in that first jump we did onto the first roundabout, skipped a trigger. Normally there'd be a bunch of enemies in here, but we don't have to deal with them. And most of those enemies are sentinels, and their sentinel beams are really good at flipping you.
Yeah, we're not really scared of dying from the enemies. It's just they like to flip you and slow you down.
So I'm going to slow down here to get this checkpoint. Yeah, if you drive too fast through this section, you won't get that checkpoint.
Yeah. This is this is the second roundabout. All of the roundabouts can be skipped, but only the third one is like viable to do in a full game run usually. Yeah. So you'll see the third roundabout skip. Are you gonna be going for probably not Sleepless, right? Because
yeah, no.
Yeah.
I've only done Sleepless Third like twice in my life.
Yeah. But still, just the regular roundabout skip is good as well.
So we gotta drive right here. You can drive it to the left over that broken panel to save a little bit of time, but I like driving to the right here because you get a little sentinel boost here, and it just makes getting the third roundabout skip a little easier. And we got it.
Nice. Oh, that was actually really close.
Yeah, I barely got it.
Yeah.
So now we're just coming up on to the last portion of the driving section.
Alright, the question is though, did you practice barrel roll beforehand?
I didn't practice it, but let's see. Should I go for it? I have to go for it.
I mean, it's marathon, so I think you should.
Right. Yeah, I have to go for the swag strat. Yeah, there's a strat here called Wilsor Strat, where there's a ramp coming up that the game wants you to take, but we just drive to the right of it and not go over the full ramp. But you can see, like, well, it edges out a little bit here, so I'm gonna try to use that edge to do a barrel. Oh, it looks good.
Nice, that was really clean. Good swag. That's the Halo 3 version of the 360 from Halo 1.
So this is a good time to do the shoutouts. Shout out to HaloRuns.com. We mentioned earlier. It's if you have any interest of watching or learning any Halo game, HaloRuns.com is definitely your resource. If you want to go straight to the Discord, HaloRuns.com/Discord will get you the invite link. Thanks ESA for having me. This was a lot of fun. I'm really glad I got to showcase Halo 3 here, and thanks to Sorix for commentating.
Yeah, awesome run, man. Thanks for letting me commentate. Thanks for ESA as well.
Appreciate it. Yep, and we're just coming up onto the end of the game here. And the time is going to come up as soon as the cutscene starts.
Yeah, as soon as the screen goes black.
Yep. And that's time.
Nice. Good run, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Solid stuff.
That was a 1:26:38 for theater, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, a lot of big reverse, but it's to be expected in a marathon. That's just how it goes with Legendary. But you still put up a really solid performance, so.
Yep. Yeah, thanks for having me. That's it.
Thank you guys so much for that amazing Halo 3 run. Stay tuned, everyone, because after this short intermission, we're getting some Devil May Cry by Dan Spence 94. Stay tuned, everyone.